Good day, everyone. Thank you for the invitation to participate in the South African Society of Dairy Technology Symposium. My name is Corina Walsh, and I'm a professor in the Department of Nutrition and Dietetics at the University of the Free State. Today, I'll be discussing the fascinating relationship between gut health and dairy intake, highlighting their potential to enhance human health. Current scientific opinion agrees that milk and milk product intake improve dietary quality and can be linked to a reduced risk of obesity and chronic metabolic conditions. Although several mechanisms may underlie the health benefit of dairy foods, the recent emphasis on the structure and function of the human gut microbiome has focused attention on the potential role of probiotics and prebiotics in dairy foods in promoting human health. The gut microbiome refers to the intestinal community of microbes that contribute to maintaining and influencing health. This community includes trillions of microbes from more than 1,000 bacterial species. The figure in the slide shows just how complex the gut microbiota are. Most are described based on their phyla, genus, and species. Together, the number of different kinds of microbes and the abundance of each kind describe the diversity of an individual's microbiome, with good diversity being linked to higher number and abundance. It's not only the microbes themselves that impact on health, but also the products of their metabolism. Fermentation supports the growth of specialist microbes that produce short-chain fatty acids and gases that are closely linked to specific beneficial metabolic effects with important health implications. Now that we've set the foundation, let's delve deeper into the concept of the gut microbiome. The diversity of the gut microbiome is influenced by various factors, starting from birth. How babies are delivered, either through natural birth or cesarean section, along with the mother's health and whether infants are breastfed or formula fed, all impact the initial makeup of the microbiome. An imbalance in the gut microbiota, known as dysbiosis, may contribute to various health issues. A large body of evidence confirms that lower bacterial diversity in the gut is associated with chronic and inflammatory diseases, with different disease states being characterized by unique microbiota profiles. Bacterial diversity is an indicator of gut health, and although functionally related microbes can compensate for the function of other missing species, certain conditions, such as obesity and metabolic complications, are closely associated with low microbial diversity and dysbiosis. Having a healthy gut is crucial for overall well-being, from a healthy body to a healthy mind. In the following section, I'd like to expand on some of the benefits of having a healthy microbiome. The gut microbiota plays a critical role in digestion and nutrient absorption by helping to break down complex carbohydrates and fibers that are otherwise indigestible by human enzymes, releasing short-chain fatty acids and other byproducts. Some bacteria in the gut produce enzymes that aid in the digestion of certain substances, contributing to nutrient absorption. The gut is a major component of the immune system, and the microbiome plays a crucial role in immune system regulation by training and modulating immune responses. Beneficial bacteria help maintain a balance between pro-inflammatory and anti-inflammatory signals, contributing to immune system homeostasis. A healthy microbiome can help protect against infections and diseases by enhancing the body's immune defense mechanisms. A balanced gut microbiota is associated with lower levels of inflammation in the body. An imbalance in the microbiome has been linked to chronic inflammatory conditions. Research suggests a link between the composition of the gut microbiome and metabolic processes which impact on metabolism and weight regulation, including energy extraction from food. Imbalances in the microbiome have been associated with conditions such as obesity and the resultant metabolic disorders. Perhaps you've heard of the gut-brain connection. The gut microbiome is directly linked to mental health and brain function. Emerging research suggests a connection between gut health and mental health, with alterations in the microbiome potentially influencing mood, stress, and cognitive function. The gut-brain axis represents the bidirectional communication between the gut and the central nervous system. The microbiome plays a role in this communication. Certain bacteria in the gut contribute to the synthesis of vitamins, such as B vitamins and vitamin K. Microbes also produce other bioactive compounds with potential health benefits. A healthy microbiome provides protection against pathogens by competing with harmful pathogens for resources and attachment sites in the gut, helping to prevent the colonization of harmful bacteria. Some beneficial bacteria produce antimicrobial substances that inhibit the growth of pathogenic microorganisms. Maintaining a healthy microbiome is associated with a lower risk of certain diseases, including gastrointestinal disorders, metabolic diseases, and autoimmune conditions. Now let's look in a bit more detail at probiotics, prebiotics, and synbiotics. The word probiotic comes from Greek meaning for life. The current definition, adopted by the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations and the World Health Organization, states that probiotics are live strains of strictly selected microorganisms which, when administered in adequate amounts, confer a health benefit on the host. Probiotics, or beneficial microbes, are found in fermented foods that contain probiotic strains of lactic acid bacteria, such as cultured milk products and yogurt. On the other hand, prebiotics are defined as non-digestible dietary compounds or fermentable fibers that act as a food source for probiotics, stimulating their growth and beneficially changing their composition or activity. Lactose and other sugars like oligosaccharides present in dairy foods serve as prebiotics. The capacity to modify the microbiome is enhanced when probiotics and prebiotics are combined, and Gibson and Roberfreud consequently defined the term symbiotic to describe a blend of probiotics and prebiotics acting in synergy. Fermented dairy foods like yogurt and amasi are an excellent example of foods that contain both prebiotics and probiotics in a symbiotic environment, and I'll explain more about how this benefits human health in this presentation. Although the composition of the gut microbiome remains relatively stable in a healthy person, lifestyle and diet choices can influence it considerably. What we eat has a significant impact on shaping the microbiome, which in turn affects metabolism, immunity, and even brain function, ultimately influencing overall well-being and risk for developing a variety of diseases. While the intake of excessive protein, fructose, and saturated fats has been shown to have negative effects on the microbiome, both prebiotics and probiotics can beneficially regulate intestinal health. This figure shows how different foods affect the microbiome, with some having a detrimental effect and others a more positive effect. For example, the intake of starchy foods like potatoes, pasta, and rice, as well as sugar-sweetened beverages, are associated with lower diversity, while the intake of raw salad vegetables, oily fish, cruciferous vegetables, other vegetables, and fruit are associated with higher diversity. One of the practical challenges often discussed in relation to dairy is lactose intolerance. So let's start by revising what lactose is. The disaccharide lactose is the main source of energy in milk and consists of the two monosaccharides galactose and glucose linked together. The enzyme lactase is needed to hydrolyze lactose to glucose and galactose for these sugars to be absorbed and transported across the intestinal mucosa. Lactase is produced in the intestinal mucosa of most mammals, and full-term infants generally have sufficient lactase activity to digest human milk. However, lactase activity declines after weaning in most humans, a condition called lactase non-persistence, especially those from East Asian and African heritage, resulting in different degrees of lactose maldigestion. According to Leonardi et al., only about 35% of the human population can fully digest lactose beyond the age of about 7 or 8 years. Lactose intolerance refers to the digestive symptoms associated with lactose maldigestion. Undigested lactose moves from the small intestine to the colon, where it serves as a prebiotic that is fermented by bacteria. This sometimes produces gas, which may lead to symptoms such as abdominal discomfort, nausea, cramps, bloating, flatulence, and diarrhea. Despite this, lactose intolerance is not considered a disease, as only about 50% of lactase activity is required for the effective digestion of lactose. Most people who are lactose intolerant can eat small amounts of dairy foods without experiencing discomfort. Those who consider themselves lactose intolerant may decrease their dairy intake, resulting in the compromised intake of the nutrients and other beneficial compounds in dairy. However, total avoidance of dairy foods is unnecessary. For those concerned about lactose intolerance, there are practical strategies to continue enjoying dairy without discomfort. Sip it. Consuming small amounts of dairy at a time instead of a full glass helps slow the release of lactose into the small intestine, reducing discomfort. Full cream milk is tolerated better than low-fat or fat-free milk, possibly because it moves through the gut more slowly. Stir it. Mixing dairy with other foods or incorporating it into dishes allows for slower digestion and slower release of lactose into the small intestine. Examples include using milk over cereal or porridge, or using it in a sauce with pasta. Spoon it. As a result of the fermentation process, yogurt and amasi contain less lactose and are better tolerated than fluid milk. These foods, being semi-solid, also move through the digestive system more slowly than fluids, providing more time for the remaining lactose to be digested effectively. Slice it. Opting for dairy products with lower lactose content, such as hard cheeses, can be easier on the gut. Cheeses such as cheddar and Gouda contain almost no lactose. Try it. Lactose-free milk is available, and although it is a bit pricier than regular milk, it does have the benefit of providing the nutrients in milk without the lactose. Also, taking lactase tablets with milk can improve digestion. Gradually increasing your tolerance to lactose by consuming small amounts of lactose-containing foods helps your gut microbiome develop active lactose, improving tolerance over time. These strategies allow for the enjoyment of dairy without compromising on health. Now let's have a look at dairy foods as a source of prebiotics. In addition to providing energy, lactose and other compounds found in dairy foods act as prebiotics. Now remember that prebiotics are important sources of food that allow the probiotics to thrive by stimulating the growth of specific genera of the gut microbiota. In addition to the prebiotic lactose, the oligosaccharides like galacto-oligosaccharides in dairy also have a prebiotic effect. The oligosaccharides are composed of 3 to 10 sugar molecules linked together. They do not serve as a source of energy, but rather provide nutrients to intestinal bacteria, therefore performing a major role in gut health. When prebiotics like lactose undergo fermentation, they produce the short-chain fatty acids we've mentioned previously, with several essential functions. These include preventing constipation by providing movement of the large intestine, reducing inflammation, preventing the growth of harmful microbes and even inhibiting the progression of cancer cells. Short-chain fatty acids have also been linked to protecting against obesity, potentially through their influence on gut hormones that control appetite and food intake. Furthermore, the fermentation of lactose in the colon positively affects the absorption of minerals, especially calcium and magnesium, making these essential minerals more available for the body. Now let's turn our attention to the specific probiotic effects of fermented dairy foods. As I've mentioned, in addition to beneficial fatty acids, micronutrients, and bioactive peptides, fermented foods also contain live microbes or probiotics that can influence the diversity and composition of the gut microbiota favorably. Although probiotics consumed in microbe-containing foods are transient components of the microbiome, which means they seldom persevere for more than a few days, they have numerous beneficial effects on the diversity, structure, and function of the gut microbiota, especially when they are habitually consumed. Fermented dairy foods such as cultured milk products and yogurt beneficially regulate intestinal health through direct effects on the gut and through immune effects that I mentioned previously. The way fermented foods are made, processed, and stored influences the types and number of microbes present. Starter cultures, carefully chosen for their performance characteristics, are commonly used in making cultured dairy products and cheese. Lactic acid bacteria are preferred for milk fermentation, as they don't compromise the taste and nutritional value of dairy. A study by Gonzalez et al. Assessed the association between the consumption of fermented dairy foods, microbial diversity, and biomarkers of health in an observational cohort. The authors found that study participants who consumed natural yogurt had higher levels of the beneficial bacteria and lower levels of inflammation than those who did not consume natural yogurt. These findings have been confirmed in a number of probiotic yogurt intervention studies, suggesting that fermented dairy products may protect against chronic low-grade inflammation, which is common in many chronic conditions such as metabolic syndrome. Other health benefits of fermented dairy products include improved lactose tolerance and alleviation of gastrointestinal intolerance symptoms, accelerated intestinal transit time, inhibition of pathogen adhesion to the intestinal mucosa, prophylactic prevention of traveler's diarrhea, and improved glucose metabolism. This presentation would not be complete if I didn't take the opportunity to tell you briefly about the food matrix, or more specifically, the dairy matrix. A food matrix is like a unique fingerprint of a food item. It considers how the food is made up physically and what nutrients are in it, and how these elements interact to contribute to the nutritional and health effects of the food. In light of the food matrix concept, we are reconsidering how we assess the health consequences of food beyond the specific nutrients they contain, and we are learning that food is more than the sum of its nutrients. In the case of dairy products, the dairy matrix has been shown to have a positive effect on overall health. The mix of vitamins, fats, proteins, and other components in the dairy matrix supports the growth of gut bacteria, helping them to thrive. The special combination of nutrients in dairy protects and supports these bacteria during their journey through the gut, ensuring that they stay alive and can do their job effectively. In conclusion, and to summarize, maintaining gut health requires a balance of factors, including a nutritious diet, regular exercise, sufficient fluid intake, and a stable gut microbiome. When regularly consumed, probiotics go above and beyond. They introduce helpful microbes, produce beneficial short-chain fatty acids, create substances that fight off harmful elements, compete with harmful organisms for the grip on the gut wall, and even influence immune, hormone, and brain functions. These are all functions that contribute to the overall well-being of the gut microbiome. There is substantial evidence that the human microbiome can be modified by diet and that specific dietary components are closely linked to health and disease. A balanced diet has a positive impact on the microbiome, decreasing the risk of developing metabolic and inflammatory diseases. Milk and fermented dairy foods contain microbial, nutritive, and bioactive components that benefit the gut microbiome and consequently general health. Now, research related to the potential lasting impact of habitual dairy intake on the microbiome and the potential to promote shifts in microbiota species is, however, needed. This is especially important in poverty-stricken communities where the risk for gastrointestinal infections is high, and dietary interventions like increasing the intake of fermented dairy can limit this risk and promote health. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to engaging with you during the question and answer session.